Hey guys, good morning. This is RyGuyGaming here today, and today we are going to continue our Lua scripting tutorials. So today we are going to learn about instances of objects. We already talked about that a little bit, but we're going to talk about it more today, and how to create new objects. For example, like putting new stuff into the game via scripts. And I got this idea from the wiki. And so just real quick, kind of a plug for the wiki. If you go onto the Roblox wiki, just search it in Google. They have great tutorials on how to script, and they have a lot of stuff that can help you out with building, scripting, anything you need. They have tutorials. They have all the documentation for Roblox Lua. It's very helpful. I look at it at least every day when I'm doing these tutorials. And so let's go back into our script if you've been following along with these. If you haven't, just real quick to recap, right now we have a part and in the workspace, which you obtain by right-clicking anywhere and clicking Insert Part. And inside of it, we have placed a script. So click on the part, either in the world view or over here in the Explorer, and right-click and go Insert Object, and then click on Script, which is down here. And so we're just going to hop into the script, and this is what we have so far. And let me put in some spaces to kind of spread this out. That looks better. So if you remember last time, we just talked about variables and the print and a couple other things, but today we're going to learn how to create objects. So let's go ahead and get rid of all of this for now. Today what we're going to do is we are going to set our brick on fire. Now normally the way you would do this is to click on your brick, go to Insert Object, and then come over here and find fire, and voila, it's on fire. But we are not going to do that this way because we are scripters. So inside of the script, we are going to make a fire with words instead of clicks. And so the way to do this is first we need to define a variable. And today, before we get into the script, I wanted to teach you guys about comments. So if you type 2 minus signs in Lua, any text succeeding the 2 lines will be green. And so what that means is that when Roblox sees a line with 2 minus signs at the beginning, it completely ignores it. So I can type whatever I want here, and if I run the script, Roblox won't even care. It will just skip this line. So I'm going to say create a new fire. And this is just kind of, comments can be used to, I don't remember if I told you, these are called comments, and they can be used to help you keep track of what you're doing. Because sometimes if you have a big project and you come back a couple weeks or months later, you won't know what the heck you wrote. And if you're working with a team, say you're coding something, people code in different ways, and so they won't know what you're saying either. So comments are just a good way to keep track of what you're doing. So we're going to create a new variable, and we're going to call it fire. Now, this is how you create a new object in the game. And so it's the same thing as what we did when we right-clicked and did Insert Object, except this way we're doing it through a script. So I'm going to say Instance.new, and then in parentheses, in quotes, you put what you want to create a new instance of. And like I said, the fire is an object, and an instance of that object is just one specific version of it. And so this instance of the fire object gets stored into our fire variable. And if we do this, if we run this, I'm not going to run it because You'll see why in a minute. But if we run this, it will create a new fire. However, it won't appear anywhere. All we've done is created a new fire, but we haven't set it up at all. So the next thing we're going to have to do is tell the game where to put the fire. And so we do that by setting the fire's parent property, if I could type properly. And if you remember from last time, we talked about the parent being the object that an object is nested in. So for example, with the example we used last time, this script is a child of this part, so this script's parent is part. And so we are going to set the fire's parent to this script's parent. So that way, when we make this fire, it will appear in the workspace, because you can only see things if they are inside of the workspace. So let's go ahead and run this and see if this works. And just so you know, if you want to just run a script and not like load in your character, come over here to the play button on the home tab on the ribbon, click the down arrow and just click run. And as you can see, there's our fire. Now we can do more to this fire by doing what we did the time before, in the first tutorial, and edit its properties. So I don't know what a fire's properties are off the top of my head, so I am going to insert a fire for just like a mock thing that I'll delete later, but I'll be able to look at its properties. So if I look, I can say, oh look, I can change its color, I can set its enabled, I can set its heat, I can set the size. So let's have fun and get pretty crazy with this. So I'm going to say fire.Heat equals, let's just do a big number. We'll say fire.Size. And so we'll just set that to be the same number. And now let's see what happens when we run this time. So let me get rid of this old fire. Oops, I just deleted the name. This old fire that we were just looking at, and I will run it. And as you can see, we have a massive fire. And so, to be honest, you can do this with anything. So let's say after I make this fire, I want to make a new part. And this one is a pretty common one to want to do while scripting, because you just want to make a new part for something. I have a scripting tutorial where we make a tycoon, and the tycoon has a money dropper that spits out new parts. So we're going to say local part equals Instance.new part, and we're going to set the part's parent. This time we are going to set the part's parent to the workspace, and to do that you set game.Workspace. This is how you reference a service. Oh, I forgot the equals sign. I was trying to figure out why there was that underline there. But this is how you reference a service, is you have to say game.Workspace. So anything over here like workspace, lighting, players, server, storage, you have to put a game in front of it. And so this will put the part in the workspace, so we'll be able to see it. Otherwise, the part will just be floating around in nothingness. We can say part.Size equals vector.new, and we'll say 1, 1, 1. Don't worry about this vector thing yet. We'll get into that later. It's not too important right now. And we'll change the part's color again to, let's just change it to .new, and we'll say bright blue. And now when we run this, hopefully it'll show up, because I haven't set its position anywhere. So let's see if we can find it. I don't know where this part is. Oh, here it is. Okay. So as you can see, we have a part. It's 1 by 1 by 1. It's blue, and what else did we say about it? Oh, that's all we said about it. And so yeah, I know this is a short tutorial, but I have been wanting to make them shorter just so you can watch these in quick little bursts. But today, just to recap, we learned about instances of objects. We worked a little more on properties. We learned how to run your place instead of play it. And yeah, we learned how to create objects, what you call dynamically, which means from a script at runtime. And so thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future tutorials, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.